Crushed it. Welcome back to Every Disney Movie Ever. My name is Jess and I'm watching Every Disney Movie Ever. Today I'm going to be talking about Christmas Again. Christmas Again is a 2021 Disney Channel original movie about a girl named Rowena who wants to have Christmases of old. She misses all her traditions, so Santa grants a wish and lets her relive Christmas over and over again. It is directed by Andy Fickman, cinematography by David Hennings, editing by Christopher A. Smith, music by Nathan Wang, and it's written by Doan. Film stars Scarlett Estevez as Rowena. This looked good. Nothing like quite so absolutely breathtaking stunning, but they did get to play with dimmer lighting because there wasn't as much green screen, which was kind of nice, but not super like artistic, fancy lighting. It was still really, basic, it feels like, but it looks like high quality, which is good. The beginning of this is rough. I don't know what it is with Disney movies as of late, but no one knows how to start a film. Like, we had, the beginning of this reminds me of the beginning of Magic Camp, where it's, like, so painful that you're like, oh my god, I'm in for the worst movie I've ever seen, potentially. And then it gets good. It's got heart, it's got, humor, it gets passable, all that kind of stuff. That is the same with this. The rough beginning is so rough. The dialogue is awkward. The acting is uncomfortable. I don't believe for a second that these people are mother and daughter, father and daughter. Like, it just feels really fake and sterile. I don't know how to explain it other than, like, awkward and weird and scripted. Like, nothing feels natural. Feels like they're trying to be, like, funny and hip. I don't know, dude. It just is gross, honestly. But then it starts to go up and up and up, and by the end you're like, okay, it won me over. Nice. I did write really early on that it was giving Hallmark Christmas movie, and I stand by that, because Hallmark Christmas movies, you can be a hater, you can be a lover, you can be whatever, but with how many movies they put out, statistically there has to be good ones, right? And I've seen ones that I, like, stand by. I'll watch every year. Christmas with Holly's a favorite. The Christmas Secret's a favorite. A Christmas Getaway's a favorite. These are three, especially Christmas with Holly. I think that might be one of Hallmark's best Christmas movies they've ever made. Anyway, I digress. They're putting out what? It's gotta be at least 50 Christmas movies, right? Like, 50 Christmas movies a year? If you're putting out 50 Christmas movies a year, like, there has to be bottom of the barrel, there has to be top of the barrel. This is, like, above average. Right above the middle, I'd say, where it's got the rough start. You're like, ooh, oh god, it's awful. Why is everyone acting so bad? And then you get into, like, oh, it's a good story. It's fun. It subverts expectations. It makes you laugh, etc. Anyway, so basically, this is kind of like Huey, Dewey, and Louie's Christmas short in Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas, where they wish for Christmas every day, and they do a bunch of horrible things, and are awful to their family, and then they get sick of it being Christmas every day, because who wouldn't? And then they're like, wait a second, maybe we've realized that we're being, like, kind of awful to our family, and so then they, blah, blah, blah. And so that is, like, the biggest vibe in this, right? That is definitely the same, it's a similar plot line, it's the same lesson, it's the, all that kind of stuff. Mixed with, the hallmarkiness of it, and she's reading, like, a Christmas Carol, so I think there was supposed to be also, like, some sort of Christmas Carol lesson in this, even though there's no, like, ghosts and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, the whole point is, the movie starts, she wakes up on Christmas and is scared, like, immediately by her soon-to-be little stepbrother, Louie. She hates Louie and doesn't want Louie there for Christmas, runs downstairs, sees her dad. Her dad has brought his new fiancé, who's going to be her stepmom, who she also doesn't like. The stepmom eats the last chocolate, and they rotate who eats the last chocolate, and it wasn't supposed to be her. And then the grandparents are over, and it's just, like, one and the uncles are over with their new dog who causes mayhem, and it's just like one thing after another, and she just wants to do all of her, like, in her mind, tradition things. And, you know, so she wants to watch the game with her dad, she wants to go to Winterfest, she wants, like, this Hancock Building 360 Chicago memory thing. Oh, it takes place in Chicago, which is the best. And so when it's like the worst Christmas ever, she's decided she meets Santa, who she thinks is just like a mall Santa, because or hotel Santa, I think she says, because he says he works at a hotel. And she's like, I wish it were Christmas, like, I want it to be Christmas again, back, like, she's meaning back when she enjoyed Christmas, with all the good memories before her parents got divorced. And Santa's like, oh, bet, and then puts her in a time loop. It's kind of like Groundhog Day. It's Groundhog Day meets, you know, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Short. I can't remember the name of their short, but it's gonna make me mad. Anyway, so then, where the movie starts to subvert expectations, because normally it's like, oh my god, I'm realizing I'm stuck in the same day, I'm gonna try and do stuff to try and fix it. Like, how do I get back to not reliving the same day is normally the plot. She takes advantage. She's like, oh, I can do whatever I want because I know it's going to get erased and we're going to start fresh again tomorrow. So this girl has a field day. She does 500, like, million different, she rents a Hummerzine. She goes to all the things she wanted to do, and she goes to Navy Pier, she goes to the Hancock Building to do the, like, lean out 360 thing they do. She goes to the Santa versus Elves hockey game. She just goes to the Winterfest. She goes and does everything she wants to while also messing with her family. There's a whole day where she's convincing them she's psychic because she asked them questions the day before and they obviously don't remember that. So there's a whole day where she's, like, convincing her family she's psychic because she knows all this stuff. It's bananas. I will say the first half of this movie, everyone's unlikable. She's a little, like, kind of brat, unlikable girl. The family's kind of, like, really hard on her, even though, like, I semi-understand some of it, but still kind of, like, not the best. And then, over the course of her doing all these things, she finally does start to kind of get sick of reliving the day. And so she's like, you know what, I know what I have to do. I have to get my parents to fall back in love. So then there's a whole section where she's reliving the day, doing all these things to get her parents to be alone, which are deplorable things, mind you. Her stepmom-to-be is severely allergic to cats, and she rubs her jacket all over a cat. So then she has to go lay down in a guest room having basically an anaphylactic reaction. Like, what are we talking about? Anyway, so then she gets her, like, she keeps trying to get her parents alone to, like, fall back in love, but then they're like, sweetie pie, he's marrying Diane, and she's like, no, and has a whole moment about that. And then she moves on from that and is, like, you know, annoyed and apathetically, like, living through the day being like, you know, what can I freaking do? And then she has a heart-to-heart with her sister, which is really good. So then she's like, actually, okay, maybe I'll try to, like, you know, spend Christmas with my family and try to make it the best she can. So then this is also where it subverts expectations. And you would think, like, she's like, okay, now I'm going to try and make it the best ever. That she would, like, hit it off the bat on that one day. Because, like, there's stuff that's set up. Like, there's a lady across the street that drops all her eggs. There's 2 kids selling jokes for charity that gets bullied by a girl. At Winterfest, there's, like, some proposal that gets ruined by something that falls off a tree. So it's setting up all these things that she'll be able to make right on Christmas Day. What I liked about the story is she didn't get it right the first time she tried to do all of that. So, like, she takes advantage of the day repeating itself to learn what she can do in each scenario to write it until the day that she gets everything correct, and it's a very wonderful, beautiful, love-filled Christmas. I really liked that they did that, because a lot of the time it's like, okay, I know what I have to do to make it right, and they get it right the whole first try. But, you know, her trying to help the kids that are getting bullied by the one girl doesn't go well, so then the next Christmas Day, her and Louie go up to her uncle, and she's like, we're ready to learn judo, and they spend the whole day practicing judo, so then the next Christmas she can tackle the girl with judo to correct that thing. And so I just think, like, showing that then she uses the days to her advantage to learn how to correct all these things that go wrong was also really interesting, and a kind of different way that this type of story would have been handled. Anyway, very sweet ending, as you would expect. I was pleased with the ending. The movie has some funny moments, especially once it gets into the thick of, like, Christmas is repeating. My favorite funny moment was when Rowena is trying to get her parents to fall back in love. When her sister comes up and she asks her sister for help, her sister says no. Well, on another day, when she's trying again, her sister comes up and is like, what are you doing? Rowena turns around and has a massive wad of cash and says, it's yours if you want to help me. It took me out, dude. It was so funny. Like, especially, like, because the joke has layers, right? It's like, she's paying her sister, it was at least $500, because it was $100 bills. So she's paying her sister $500 to help her try and get the parents back together. But then the joke has layers, so it's like, Gabby thinks she's getting $500 out of the deal. Rowena knows that the money isn't actually going to stay with Gabby because the day's going to repeat. So, like, there's so many layers to it, which is really funny to me. So that was great. So it's kind of a mixed bag, but overall, enjoyable. My favorite part is definitely the it's yours if you want it cash moment, because it made me actually laugh out loud. Like, I had to, like, pause it and take a second, because I was like, oh my god, dude, what a real sibling moment that was. Least favorite part, definitely the rough dialogue and just awkwardness in the beginning. I feel like people don't know how to start a movie anymore. It was so bad. Recommend? Honestly, sure. It's not the greatest movie, right? Like, definitely not. But it's a fun little Christmas movie if you're feeling in the vibe when Christmas comes around. Go for it. Watch again? I suppose I wouldn't say no. I feel like it'd be fun to show my brother this movie. I feel like my brother would get a kick out of the, like, repeating and subverting expectations. Especially because he likes Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas with the Huey, Dewey, and Louie sketch. But, you know, I wouldn't probably pick this of all the Christmas movies I want to watch every year, you know? That's all I have. My final rating's going to be 6 hot chocolates, probably. Or maybe Christmas penguin alarm clocks is probably what it should be, if I can find it. 6 Christmas penguin alarm clocks out of 10. Our total movie count is... Paradox and Craig count are still the same. If you want to keep up with what movie watching when, follow me on all socials and check out my website. Okay? It's pretty cool. Seriously, you'll find out what movie watching when I put up videos on Monday, Friday, sometimes Wednesday. Join Patreon, got a tier starting at just $1. You get every video a week early. Tiers above that, daily trivia, monthly postcards, bonus content, etc. Buy merch. Merch is great. Merch is grand. Until next time, comment, like, subscribe, and I'm not in charge of your life. You are, so do you, and don't be... This is a toughie, because everybody that's kind of awful in this movie learns some kind of... Well, it doesn't... Not everyone learns some kind of lesson, but, like, none of them were inherently, like, awful. There's no, like, villain. So... I don't know. Don't be a turd about it, I guess. There's a chunk of the movie where I would have said don't be Rowena about it, and I would have said, like, don't be her mom about it, or her uncles, because they were all kind of nasty.